trying to do the same thing in Kansas City.
You know, it's amazing you're showing the two coaches, Michael and Joe, week after week. You know, you look at all these coaches, I'd really like to see him win, and you see the other one. Really great coaches.
Two good guys.
Good people.
And throughout the National Football League.
And, you know, their football teams reflect them, too. I mean, there are a lot of terrific coaches. Got their guys all sitting at home tonight watching the Eagles and the Chiefs go at it.
David Akers to kick it away to Dante Hall as the Chiefs will get the ball to start the game. Onside kick, and that ball, I do not believe, went 10 yards.
Yes, it did, and I'll tell you why it did. Number 82,
That was close.
Douglas, was a wide receiver. He went 10 yards and reached and caught the ball. He was beyond the 10-yard marker.
He was, but the ball was not. I do not believe that ball traveled the 10-yard distance. I agree with Michael.
The kicking team cannot touch it unless it goes 10 yards. It's got to reach the 40.
Now, this ball is not to the 40. They ought to review this right now.
Short.
As a matter of fact, the ball is spotted short of the 40.
Well, it's 1st and 10 Eagles. And nobody's throwing a red flag. There's no challenge, so it did go 10.
No challenge, and a break for the Eagles to start the ball game, and Deuce Staley will get 6 yards to the 46. What a gamble on the part of Andy Reid to try to jumpstart his offense. I think he may have gotten away with one there.
Well, the thing about it is when you saw Akers come up and really no one else made a move, he went almost 7 yards before the rest of the kicking team moved. He should have known something was coming.
Second and 3, blitz coming. Thrash out in the flat. And Thrash lunges for the first down to midfield.
Well, you just saw that quick pass to James Thrash, and he's also got to get Chad Lewis involved. This is a guy that they count on to score in the red zone. He has 3 touchdowns. We saw James Thrash. That's a short pass, but I believe he's got to come up with 2 big plays against these corners for the Eagles offense to be effective. And Donovan McNabb has got to do what he did right there. Move the chains.
Split backs behind McNabb. And Donovan takes off. McNabb first down at the 38-yard line.
What you saw Donovan McNabb do on that play is not what he did last week against the Redskins. He hesitated and looked a beat longer. Now, watch him go back in the pocket. He goes back, he sets, he doesn't see it. You see it now, all of a sudden, there he is. He sees the opening, take it and go. Without hesitation.
Terrell Buckhalter, number 28, checks in for the first time. They go 3 wide receivers on 1st and 10. Buckhalter. And the Chiefs defense, which came in 29th against the run, is gashed for a few here. Patton made the tackle.
It's very simple for Kansas City on defense. Donnie Edwards, who really is a cover guy, he's got to really contain McNabb. He didn't do it on that last play. He eventually made the tackle. And Greg Wesley, run support. Deuce Staley, Terrell Buckhalter. He has got to be in that line of scrimmage and making tackles. So far, they have not stopped Philadelphia from running the football.
3 carries, 25 yards so far. One of those rushes by Donovan McNabb on a scramble. McNabb under pressure. They got him at the 40. Marcus Patton came on the blitz and gets his 2nd sack of the year.
Well, Deuce Staley had a choice of taking Marcus Patton or Donnie Edwards. So he chose to take Donnie Edwards. When he does it on the right-hand side, or on the left-hand side, you're going to say Marcus Patton, 53, is going to make the tackle. Look at Donnie Edwards. He's there. Both linebackers are there. Deuce Staley has no choice but to take one of them.
But I believe Marcus Patton was in coverage on Deuce Staley, and when he picked up the block, that just allowed him to go.
3rd and 11, opening possession of the game for the Eagles. Freddie Mitchell is in as the wide receiver. McNabb with a screen. Staley The deuce is loose in the secondary to the 25 and a first down.
Was that the perfect screen? I mean, you got your halfback catching the ball, Deuce Staley, and you've got really 3 blockers out in front.
The 2 things that Deuce Staley does so well, and he really likes, is this little quick short screen gets the lineman out in front, and also you'll see him featured in a lot of draws. He loves to get the lineman moving up in front and then jump right in behind him.
Staley second on the ball club with 36 catches this year, behind only James Thrash. Deuce falls forward for a couple.
He was tackled by Donnie Edwards.
When the offensive line blocks the way these guys are blocking on these run plays, you really don't have much of a chance.
Well, Deuce said something I thought was very interesting yesterday when we sat and visited with him. He said, we, the skill guys, have got to reward our offensive linemen. They've played well. We just haven't made plays. So far tonight, he's doing an excellent job of rewarding the guys up front.
Staley averaging between 4.5 and 5 yards a carry this year. Been bothered by injuries. McNabb on the roll. Throws over the middle and a diving catch. The ball then comes loose. Tony Stewart with a terrific catch.
Well, I got to see this. What happens is that Tony Stewart supposedly catches the ball. Does he bring it in when he comes down? If he does, then the ground cannot cause a fumble. But as he hits the ground, the ball bounces out.
Watch this. The Eagles are hurrying to get everything done. They want to get in and get out.
No,
that's
not a catch. That's not a catch. Throw the flag.
But look at the Eagles. Dick Vermeil has not had has finally got it out.
They did not challenge the opening onside kick. The replay showed they should have.
And down by contact. This is not a reviewable play.
Down by contact.
Well, the ball is not caught.
That's right. That's got to be reviewable, whether he advances the ball or not.
If it's blown down by contact, there is no review. But we get a chance to look at it and see if they blew the whistle prematurely.
No, that's wrong. He's got to catch it first.
Well, I agree with you.
Makes no difference.
But if the official blew the whistle, oh, here we go.
It makes no difference.
Now they're going to have to explain this to Coach Vermeil. And Coach Vermeil is not going to be very happy with the explanation.
There was never control of this football. This was never a catch.
The whistle can blow any time during a play, but he's got to catch the ball.
Look at this. Now watch the ball. He doesn't have control there. He doesn't have control there. He's bringing the ball in, and watch it hit the ground. Look at the nose of the ball. Hit the ground. He doesn't have control.
That is a terrible job by the officials. A terrible job by the officials. He never had the ball. How can you be down by contact when you don't have the football?
That's unbelievable. Staley stacked up at the 11.
Now you've got the Kansas City Chiefs defense really mad.
Certainly down by contact stops the play. It does not have an effect on whether the pass was complete or not, and obviously it wasn't.
Maybe officials aren't as good on Thursdays as they are on Sundays.
Another rule that will be reviewed.
Greg Robinson was jumping up and down and trying to get the officials' attention before they ran that last play. What a bizarre start to this one. McNabb under pressure, end zone. Too far for Chad Lewis. The Eagles have been very good in the red zone. The problem is they haven't made too many visits to the red zone this year.
18 touchdowns, 11 field goals, but only 30 possessions halfway through a season. Their TD percentage is very high, and that has to do with the threat of Donovan McNabb and his ability to be able to take off and run.
Last week, they did not get inside the Redskins' 30-yard line, so they are already doing better offensively than a week ago. 3rd and 9. McNabb. Still looking. To the 7.
I'll tell you what, Eric Hicks, when they talk about getting faked out of your jock,
is it out there? Is it still out there somewhere?
This one's out there. I'm telling you, Donovan McNabb just shows you how good he is in space.
He should. Eric's 280 pounds. He ought to fake him out.
Akers comes on. He's at 17 of 19 this year. This attempt from 24 yards to give the Eagles the early lead. And Akers is perfect. That is the first point the Eagles have scored on the opening drive of a game this year. They're up 3-0. The Eagles, with a 54-yard drive, took almost 6 minutes off the clock and get on the board on Akers' 24-yard field goal. And Akers has it teed up again.
Would he do it? Would Andy Reid do it twice?
Why not?
In a row?
Now you can tell the difference in Akers' approach, the angle he took. Dante Hall from the 1. Hall is drilled shy of the 20-yard line.
Dante Hall on the return.
Priest Holmes had to wait a while to get his first shot at the offense. He needs 98 yards for 1,000. This will get you up to Christmas with those 4. Kansas City, famous for barbecue. Priest Holmes and Richardson in the eye behind Trent Green. Holmes off the right side. Nice cut. Priest Holmes shoved out of bounds and over the barrier.
Does this not look like the Washington Redskin game of a week ago when Stephen Davis took it off the right side and gained 28 yards? They're working the perimeters. Eagles not a real big defensive line. Terrific job out front. Tony Richardson, number 49. Jason Dunn, number 89. Casey Wegman, the center. All of them out front.
Holmes a gain of 15. Comes in 5th in the league. A chance for 1,000 yards tonight. Green, play action. Plenty of time. Holmes with a catch. Priest Holmes gets 9 on the catch. Priest Holmes in Baltimore a couple of years ago had a 1,000-yard season and then ended up on the bench after a knee injury in 1999. That's when they made the choice to send Jamal Lewis into the starting lineup. He went to the bench, similar to his experience at Texas, when he was the star and then benched in favor of Ricky Williams. Holmes lowers his head and has a first down at the 46-yard line.
Now the Chiefs have the ball. The man that's got to be their star tonight is Tony Gonzalez. He has got to win the one-on-one matchups. And Priest Holmes, in the 3 wins that they have had, he's carried the ball more than 20 times for over 100 yards. He's off to a good start tonight. And Trent Green's going to have to handle the pressure. If the Eagles can get him in 3rd and long, the Eagles have 32 sacks. They will bring heat.
Green with 16 picks this year, tied with Peyton Manning for the most in the NFL. Blitz coming. Quick out to Gonzalez. And the all-pro tight end gets only a couple. Bobby Taylor was out there with it.
And defensively, Michael, Hugh Douglas, he's on the right side as a defensive end. He's really got to get some pressure on Trent Green and not allow him to stay in and throw the ball like he just did to Priest Holmes. Jeremiah Trotter smacked Priest Holmes in the mouth every time he gets the ball. That's his job, and he hasn't done it in the first 3 times that Priest Holmes has touched the ball. And Al Harris, support the secondary. Support means help double up on Tony Gonzalez.
What they're looking to do. Holmes ran by a tackle and crosses to midfield. It's really odd to watch Kansas City's offense operate now, Joe, because at the beginning of the season, this was going to be St. Louis's offense. They came in, found out they did not have the wide receivers to do it. And in the off week, I think they made a conscious decision to say, all right, we're going to be much more effective running the football.
We have, but Al Saunders, the coordinator, the offensive coordinator, said, we have not abandoned the philosophy that we want to instill. We have just now placed an emphasis on running the football from those different formations.
Green with time throws the out to Gonzalez, incomplete. Good coverage by Bobby Taylor.
Boy, that was. Bobby Taylor was all over Tony Gonzalez, and the ball was thrown really to the right spot, to the outside.
Paul, you made a great point in the open. You talked about Gonzalez being in a lot of different places. This time he's outside, and he's got a corner covering. And really, corners are the only ones who can cover.
That's not the matchup that Kansas City wants.
Straczynski to punt to Brian Mitchell, who has 12 career kick returns for touchdowns, 8 of them punt returns, and comes in 5th in the NFL this year with a 12.5 average. Straczynski very good at hanging the ball high. Mitchell bobbles it and then is drilled at the 11-yard line. William Barty, number 24, downfield to rack him up. Timeout on the field, first quarter, 3-0 Eagles. Eagles with a 3-0 lead start from their own 12-yard line here at Arrowhead in Kansas City.
What we saw in the first drive was Donovan McNabb be very decisive with the football in his hand, particularly trying to take off and run.
McNabb to throw, blitz coming. Caught at the 41-yard line. Freddie Mitchell, the rookie out of UCLA, a gain of 29. Nice throw, nice catch.
What they do is they spread out this Chiefs defense out to the right. You see nobody in center field. They run Chad Lewis down the middle. Freddie Mitchell. It's really just a simple play where you send all receivers up the field.
Mitchell bothered the first 6 weeks of the year with a nagging hamstring injury. Staley on the toss. Gets a yard.
I want to take you back to the opening kickoff, an onside kick by David Akers. There it is. Now watch where the ball is caught. But I want you to focus here on the field judge. The ball is back there, and the field judge is up the field a bit. And then another play came up.
The reason this was not reviewed is the Chiefs challenged whether it was a fumble or not after the catch. It was incorrectly ruled a catch, but they did not challenge that ruling. Therefore, the inadvertent whistle stopped the play. Thrash to the 48-yard line.
What a move.
Again, let's go back to the challenge. If they had challenged whether it was a reception or not, they'd have obviously won. They did not challenge that. They challenged whether it was a fumble after the catch. That is not reviewable because it was an inadvertent whistle.
Ron Blum came on and said, not inadvertent whistle, down by contact. Therefore, it was not reviewable.
You guys got this straight now?
We are totally confused at this point.
Staley weaves his way to the 45. For more on Donovan McNabb, the superstar for the Eagles, here's Suzy.
And Mike is looking so much more comfortable than he did last week. Last week, his worst performance of the season. Andy Reid said he thinks at times he fights himself. And Donovan agrees. He says he's such a perfectionist. When things don't go quite right away, his game kind of goes in the hole. He's trying to be too precise, trying to aim it, force it, instead of just letting it go loose. And that's what it looks like he's doing tonight.
Suzy was 15 of 27 last week, but only 92 yards. McNabb, good protection, rifles this one. Pinkston had it go out of his hands, and it's picked by Wesley. Greg Wesley back to the 42-yard line, his second interception of the year, and a 13-yard return, a ball Pinkston should have caught.
First of all, Donovan McNabb has all the time to throw the football, and he stands back there. He sees Pinkston and hits him in the hands. The ball goes up in the air.
Timeout on the field, 3-0. The ball up on an interception, and Kansas City has it at its own 42. Pinkston had the ball go right into his upper body and out.
That's what happens when you let that thing go through and hit your pads.
Holmes on the toss, the same play that started the ball game. And Priest Holmes drives to midfield.
And pretty near the same results.
Holmes, the ball carrier.
Holmes is a very bright young man. He is just a joy to talk to. And Kansas City found themselves a real gem in the free agent market.
One of the things you're seeing now with Priest Holmes that he talked about and learning from other people is being patient with the ball.
ends in the set on 2nd and 2. Holmes. Nice little stutter step for the first down. And as Paul said, we asked Holmes where he learned that patient running style this week.
Playing with the older kids when I was younger in the fields, that you couldn't always outrun them. And I think that's where it started. And then after watching so much tape of different types of runners like Tony Dorsett, you could really see that it wasn't always they were trying to outrun a person, rather they was trying to set them up.
And he says he has more freedom as a running back than he did in Baltimore. They wanted him to do very specific things. Here, it's take the ball and run. Tries to cut it back up the middle. The Eagles are there this time. Caldwell in on the stop.
One other thing about him, though, Joe, and you sit there, and here's a guy that was set down in other places. Never once has he badmouthed anybody. I mean, he really is a great young man. He's accepted all the things that's happened to him. He's found a home here, and he's very happy.
And he has admiration for Jamal Lewis and Ricky Williams because now he's a full-time starter, and he says, I'm really sore. I can really appreciate these guys now.
Richardson goes in motion. Green with time. Gonzalez to the Eagles 33.
Jeremiah Trotter.
I thought he had the ball.
He has no idea why this ball is not in his hands, and he's going the other way. What an excellent throw by Trent Green. Right part of your screen, Tony Gonzalez coming in. Look at that. Jeremiah Trotter just reaches up and tries to flip the ball away. Watch how close this is. He just flicks it. Great concentration by Tony Gonzalez. That's why he's a Pro Bowler.
Coming into this ball game, Gonzalez led all NFL tight ends in yardage. He was second in the NFL in catches. Just having another brilliant Pro Bowl season. Green all day to throw.
Look out.
Deep. Just off the fingertips of Gonzalez. And he had beaten Troy Vincent, the best corner this club has.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you what. Green has all the time in the world to throw this ball. The moves that Tony Gonzalez made, Troy Vincent, he had all day to make moves. Look at this. Watch this. Gonzalez inside. Back down the middle. Vincent is on him. But the blocking was superb.
The thing you have to do is he had a chance to lead him a little bit more inside. And this has been part of the disappointment that Dick Vermeil has seen. Trent Green not executing to the level that he expects.
2nd and 10. Blitz coming. Green. Screen. And too far for Priest Holmes. They had it set up, but he missed it.
There is a time when you're running a screen pass and you're a quarterback that you throw it too soon. And here's
really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Thank you. I'm sorry.
I'm not done yet.
Sorry.
Right. Now, he threw this ball too soon. Agree?
No. No, I do not agree.
I think he said what he said. I threw it too soon.
No, he didn't. He said, darn it, I wish he'd have caught that.
Oh.
See, you don't read lips as quickly as I do.
Green is at 3 of his first 6. 3rd down here, another blitz. Green with time, too high for Parker, and knocked away by Al Harris, the nickel corner.
Boy, they had Bobby Taylor, 21, right corner blitzing, strong safety, Damon Moore blitzing.
That's what Jim Johnson does, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles. He loves to get you in 3rd and long, and he brings them from everywhere.
And instead of trying a 49 to 50-yard field goal, they've got Straczynski on to punt to Mitchell. Straczynski hangs it high, but it bounces over the Kansas City special teamers downfield into the end zone. A punt of 32, but a net of 12. And the Eagles will start from the 20 when we come back. 57, and they have a 3-0 lead as they gamble on the opening kickoff with an onside kick. Got the ball, drove for a field goal. That's our only score so far. McNabb with good protection. Rifles one to threat, makes the move, Lewis. Chad Lewis for 27 yards.
Pass to Mike Bartrup.
When you take a look at this blocking, look at number 72 on the top. That's Trey Thomas. You think they have a chance to get to him? I don't think so.
Lewis,
Nice
who led
job.
the NFC in catches for tight ends last year and went to the Pro Bowl. He's a great target for McNabb. Buckhalter. He'll lose a yard. Let's go to Suzy.
Well, Mike, Andy Reid told us yesterday that the expectations are so high for this team. He knows they're going to go through the ups and the downs. How you respond is how you build your identity. He said you can reload the monster any week. It's all mind over matter. You just have to put your mind to it. Now, I'm afraid to say come out firing because the last time I did, it was an interception, but that's what Andy said.
Well, it won't make him back off, that's for sure. Staley is back in on 2nd and 11 out of the eye. Staley wrapped up, and he'll lose 2 more. Donnie Edwards with a stop.
We talk about the aggressive nature of the Philadelphia Eagles defense going after Donovan McNabb. Excuse me, of their defense. But Kansas City's defense going after the running backs. Donnie Edwards, he plays the position in this defense, the weak side linebacker who has to run sideline to sideline to make plays.
Tremendous speed. Doesn't rush very often, so he doesn't get the sacks. But a great cover linebacker. 3rd and 14. Mitchell comes into the backfield and splits out as a wide receiver. Same for Deuce Staley. He'll catch a short one for almost no yardage. Not even back to the original line of scrimmage. So the Eagles will have to give it up with 12 and a half minutes to go first half. Sean Landeta in his 17th year, still getting it done. 5th in the NFL, averaging almost 45 yards a kick. And Dante Hall waits at the 10. Partially blocked. Then fumble, and the Eagles have it. Holy cow, they get a great break on the partial deflection of the punt. Glenn Cadrez and then Eric Warfield muffed it.
Look at this. They come right up the middle. There is a block by Cadrez, and then Eric Warfield just, I mean, the ball is coming down.
So the Chiefs get a great break and then give it right back. The Eagles will start from the Kansas City 41. City, it has already been a bizarre game. The ball's gone back and forth.
Oh, Mikey, you cold?
Yes, I am. Ball's gone back and forth. It's still only 3-0.
Well, the thing about it is, and Joe mentioned, the Eagles have gotten every break you could possibly get, and still they only have 3 points on the board.
Kansas City, I think, is hanging in there pretty tough with them. The breaks tend to even up through the course of the game. The Eagles have to take advantage of this one now.
Take the end around. Then McNabb goes deep. Knocked away, intended for Thrash, and Warfield had great position on it.
All right, there's Eric Warfield right there, but on that punt, that blocked punt by Glenn Cadrez, Eric Warfield really has a shot at this ball, and the ball is up in the air. And here he is now on the coverage on Thrash. Warfield is in a perfect position. The ball hits him in the head. That is outstanding coverage.
And the one thing you've noticed is Andy Reid is not backing off, trying to put the ball down the field.
Blitz coming, and they'll whistle the play dead.
Penalty flag.
First flag of the ball
Prior
game.
to the snap, false start. 69, offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
It's John Runyon, the big right tackle. They picked up as a free agent from Tennessee a year ago.
They had honestly, had the perfect play called. They had another screen pass that time to Deuce Staley, and they were blitzing from the side. He was going to the screen. There was nobody there.
Well, we talked about the aggressive nature of both of these defenses, and they love to bring it when it's second or third and long.
Second and 15 here. McNabb, another screen. Staley got away from Donnie Edwards. Deuce Staley. Touchdown.
They liked the first screen so much, they said, let's run it one more time and see what happens.
In the same place, Joe. They went right back to the same side. This was all this was a missed tackle by number 59, Donnie Edwards. If he makes a tackle, this play goes nowhere. But this shows you the power and the speed of Deuce Staley. Watch it. There's the miss. Now look at the power of Deuce Staley.
Akers for the point after. And Staley is playing with a harness on his right shoulder because it's been partially separated. And Akers knocks it through. So Kansas City's inability to field the partially blocked punt leads to an Eagle touchdown. And Philadelphia is up 10-0 in the second quarter. Eagles now on top 10-0 over the Kansas City Chiefs. Greg Robinson very upset about that screenplay that resulted in the touchdown. And he is really letting Luke Bush have it. And anybody else who happens to be in the vicinity.
Just move right on down. Take a shot at everybody so they don't, feel left out.
I don't think anybody was missed in that one. He got them all. 41-yard drive, took only 19 seconds after they got the ball back. Dante Hall again deep for Akers' kick. Hall from the goal line. To the 27-yard line. For Deuce Staley, that catch on the screen pass, the longest reception of his career. Off to a slow start tonight, only 3 of 7, 25 yards. Priest Holmes with 32 yards is up to 934, needs 66 to become the NFL's first 1,000-yard back this year. Draw to Holmes, nowhere to go as the Eagles swarm. Go down to Suzy Kolber Moore on the big tight end, Tony Gonzalez.
Well, you can just imagine how frustrating this season is for the Pro Bowl tight end. He said it is unbearable to lose so much. When you put that much into something, it hurts that much more. And he believes that some people don't give their all because they're just afraid to feel like this. He does believe, though, the more and more they go to Priest Holmes, the more it will open up things for him, and he'll find more success as well.
It's all right. Every cloud has a silver lining somewhere. Here's the end around. Dante Hall. Gonzalez out in front throwing a block, and Hall to the 30. He about 6 yards shy of a first down. Damon Moore took him out of bounds.
Man, and Carlos Edmonds played that play perfectly. He is the linebacker, and he's limping off the field. He was on Tony Gonzalez, number 88, blocking him. Here he goes off the field, but watch, he just holds his spot on the right-hand side of the screen. Watch this. He just stays, and then he ends up making the tackle. That's outstanding linebacker play.
Edmonds, third on the team in tackles, has always done a great job against tight ends. Four-man rush this time, no blitz, a little surprising, and Green takes off. Flag is down, and so is Green at the 35. Ball came out late. That looked like a hold on the scramble.
Well, that is certainly not Trent Green's strength, especially with the gimpy knee. He moves, but he doesn't run.
This flag came from Kansas.
Well, the border's close.
I was just going to say, it was close.
It's back there on the 50-yard line.
Yeah, but there's one also up right where the line of scrimmage is. Offsets.
There are 2 offsetting penalties on the play. Holding, 54, offense. Illegal use of the hands to the face, 21, defense. The penalties offset, replay 3rd down.
The offensive penalty on Brian Waters, the defensive on Bobby Taylor.
Now, I think that is really critical for the Chiefs because they were about to give the ball up again with the Eagles having great momentum. You reach critical aspects of a game where you need to get some confidence in your football team. One, they need to keep their defense off the field a bit. And secondly, this offense needs to pick up a 1st down to try and get some kind of confidence. And the guy you got to find, I think, would be Tony Gonzalez.
Alexander goes in motion. Green for Alexander and knocked away. Bobby Taylor got the hand on it. Taylor and Troy Vincent, 2 outstanding corners, and you throw in Moore and Dawkins in that secondary, and Al Harris, the nickelback, and that's a very good secondary.
And Bobby Taylor easily could have intercepted this ball. Look at this coverage. He goes up. I mean, he's really got a legitimate shot at picking it off.
Has 12 career interceptions. Straczynski, poor kick. Takes a good bounce for the Chiefs. And down to the 27-yard line. 9:37 to go in the first half. 43-yard kick with the roll and a 10-0 Eagle lead. Thrown for 52 more yards in the first half than he did all of last week. Off to a good start, 8 of 11, 144 yards. He's also run the ball twice for 16. And Staley has been a good receiver for him.
That one interception really wasn't his. It bounced off of Todd Pinkston.
Yeah, the warmer weather's over.
Car starts.
McNabb flushed. Gets to the 33.
Boy, you know, you talk about awareness, Joe, of a quarterback.
There's a penalty flag down.
And look at McNabb. Watch this. He just feels the pressure and back up into the inside he goes. I mean, he's aware. That was Ransom, number 95, that was coming up at him.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. 1st down.
Tack that one onto the run for a 1st down.
Here's Donovan McNabb. That's Clemens, number 99. And when you turn the guy's head, when you turn his head and take him all the way to the ground, they're going to give it 15.
You got to let go. Evidently, Dwayne was holding on and just decided it was the best way to get him on the ground.
Good hustle by Clemens to get downfield to make the stop, but the mistake on the face mask. Deuce leans into the run, picks up about 4. Sunday night, Eric Moulds and the Bills battle Terrell Owens and the 49ers on ESPN Sunday Night Football at 8:28. Then on Monday night, the Packers travel to Jacksonville to face the Jaguars on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Boy, Sunday night, did we get a chance to see 2 of the best receivers in the game? Eric Moulds, Terrell Owens. 2 big guys who can knock you down and run by you.
Well, Terrell Owens, I think, Moulds, but Terrell Owens is really something.
Both are spectacular. McNabb, good protection again. Deep down the middle and too high. Closest man to it was the rookie Freddie Mitchell.
One of the things Andy Reid talked about that Donovan McNabb is going to have to continue to work on, and keep in mind, he's still so very young in this game, is moving around in the pocket and throwing crossing routes. Here he works in the pocket. He's had a tendency to get up on his toes a little bit, and the ball gets away high. He does a nice job of striding this time, but the ball comes out high and it's gone. Set. I don't like the fact that he takes his left hand off the ball and then repats it. That's a mechanical error. But look at that thing go out high and hard.
Well, John Runyon did a nice job on Eric Hicks, keeping him away from his quarterback. Staley on the toss. Staley with a 1st down to the Kansas City 40-yard line.
I tell you, did they seal off that defense? And I mean, they sealed off the defense. They ran a little toss to Deuce Staley, and when it is going to come to the right of your screen. Watch how this seals everything off. 69 out front, that's running. They seal back to the inside, and it gives Deuce Staley enough room to pick up the first down.
Staley out of South Carolina missed 2 games with that shoulder injury, coming off of a foot injury last year that nearly ended his career. McNabb, thrash to the 6.
See, when Donovan McNabb makes a decision to get rid of the football in rhythm, he is accurate. It's when he hangs on to it and has to slide in the pocket that he has his problem. Watch this. Thrash does a nice job. Just flat runs right by Ray Crockett. Just go, no quickness, no trickiness, just run by him. And what a well-thrown ball.
Thrash had a breakout season with the Redskins a year ago with 50 catches. They still found him expendable. And he has been a great acquisition for Andy Reid's offense. First and goal, Eagles. McNabb underneath to Staley, picks up maybe a yard.
You know, when you're talking about Deuce Staley and that right shoulder of his, when we talked to him yesterday, he just said, you know, the only thing I can't get my arm above my head to catch the ball. But if you look at where all the screen passes were, and that pass right there, they're all down around his waist and in his chest, so he doesn't have to reach for the ball.
But the one guy you can throw the ball up in the air to is the guy right in the middle of your screen, Chad Lewis. He's got 3 touchdown catches. Had 69 catches last year, went to the Pro Bowl. Big part of this offense down around the goal line.
They'll spot it at the 3, second and goal. Staley trying to get outside. No way. Marcus Patton, whose mother taught him how to play linebacker because she played in a pro league, learned his lessons well.
Loss of 2 yards.
Well, he just comes down the line of scrimmage. And watch, there's just not enough people to block. And number 53, Marcus Patton, is free. He makes a stop right at the line of scrimmage.
And, Paul, you brought it up before. When the Chiefs don't get penetration with their defensive line, the Eagles' offensive linemen get out to the linebackers. Greg Robinson's defense has to have his linebackers flow in pursuit.
Third and goal from the 5. McNabb sacked back at the 15-yard line. Patton again. His second sack of the ball game, and for the 9th year in a row, he'll go over 100 tackles.
This is where the defensive coordinator, Greg Robinson, says to Marcus Patton, you go get the quarterback. Don't worry about anything else. Just go straight at him. Look at that play.
What was that term? Go hit him in the mouth?
Hit him in the mouth.
That's what Jeremiah Trotter was supposed to do, though, right?
Akers will come on. He's already hit 1. This will be from 33 yards. And just got it inside the right upright. So the Eagles extend their lead to 13-0. 10 more points than they scored a week ago. And Greg Robinson really fired up about his defense, at least holding them to a field goal. The Chiefs need to get going on offense. 5:17 to go in the half. They're down 13-0 to the Philadelphia Eagles, trying to go 7-4 and increase their lead in the NFC East.
Get back to Priest Holmes.
Dante Hall waits at the 5 for the kick of Akers, who has already connected on a pair of field goals tonight for Philadelphia. High but much shorter. Hall runs into his own man, then a wave of Eagles to 24. Let's go to Suzy.
Well, Mike, we know how dominant the Eagles have been on the road. And in a case like this, they say they can use a place like Arrowhead to their advantage because it's quieter. They can hear all the play calls. They can be in the right position. They have that attacking style of defense, and it's key to be in the right place. And you can see just from these scores at Seattle, New York, Arizona, and Dallas, how they've outscored their opponents. They can't really explain why they've struggled so much at home and been dominant on the road, but that's the way this season has gone.
Suzy, it's amazing they've given up only 9 points as a high on the road. Kansas City from the 24. Priest Holmes pretty much disappeared from the offense. And Trent Green disappears under Corey Simon, who now has 5.5 sacks as a tackle. He has done a great job inside.
Warren Sapp went past him the other night. We were sitting visiting with him yesterday. We mentioned that Warren Sapp got past him. He says, I think I'll get a couple tonight. Well, here's one of them. But certainly you can't blame the offensive lineman for that.
Simon now regarded as a small tackle at 293. What did I miss? When did 293 become little?
Center of
He doesn't look 293 either.
No, he doesn't. Green under a blitz. Parker couldn't catch it. And he was covered perfectly by Bobby Taylor.
Bobby Taylor had great position one more time. And we just saw it in the last series of downs when he almost had an interception. But this play here, Bobby Taylor was in great position. Look at Parker. If Parker doesn't knock this ball up in the air.
Yeah, well, Carlos Emmons was not going to allow Trent Green to set and make an accurate throw.
Trent Green has missed his last 5 passes. He's hit only 3 out of 9. And the Eagles, with a 7-minute advantage in time of possession, and have run 30 plays to the Chiefs' 18 on offense. Green, 3rd and long. Parker, flag is down. So is Parker. Harris took him down, but not until he got to the 45-yard line. Now we'll check the penalty. It's a gain of 17.
There are flags all over the place.
Okay.
And both flags will go against the Eagles.
Number 31 at the lower part of your screen. Parker working real hard. Obviously, Al Harris not allowed to touch him. He grabbed him, he pushed him, he shoved him. And Parker still winds up with the ball.
So it's a first down. They'll take the play out at the 42-yard line.
And now the Chiefs will go into what I believe will be a running formation and get Priest Holmes back into the game.
He's gained 32 yards tonight on 7 carries. Here's his 8th try. Holmes pushing the pile to the 46-yard line. He gains 4 on that one.
Well, that's what you want. You have first down, and Priest Holmes picks up between 4 and 5 yards. You're in a position now to do anything you want to do with your offense.
And your offensive line, the lightest guy is Casey Wegman at the center at 265, but the tackles are over 320. The guards are over 315. And we know that up front, Philadelphia is basically small, so you want to pound it.
This kid went undrafted out of Texas. Only 2 undrafted players have ever had 2 1,000-yard seasons. Paul Lowe and Joe the Jet Perry in the 50s in San Francisco. Green over the middle. Alexander, who's been practically silent this season. Only his 16th catch of the year. He's been bothered by injuries and been very ineffective.
Well, there's a reason for it, because Derek Alexander didn't get a chance to work with Trent Green during the offseason because Green had a knee problem. Then when training camp came, Alexander had a problem, so he hasn't really had a chance to get into any kind of rhythm, not only with Derek Alexander, but any of his receivers.
And coming off a year where he caught passes for 1,391 yards. Holmes on the delay to the 41. Jeremiah Trotter with the tackle. Alexander has been a big play guy. The last 3 years, he averaged 62 catches and over 1,000 yards a season. So they've really missed him this year. Underneath, Michael Ricks, the backup tight end who used to be the wide receiver, with a catch and a first down for Kansas City.
Kansas City in a no-huddle offense. 2:12 to go. Plenty of time to be able to run the play they want to run. Got the 2-minute warning to stop it for them.
Green, draw to Holmes. Priest Holmes to the 26. And we have reached the 2-minute warning officially at 1:59 in Kansas City. The Chiefs trying to get on the board.
I know you did. We tried.
Well, the music was wonderful.
Back to football. The Kansas City Chiefs really, they can actually bleed the clock here if they want to. They don't need to be in a big hurry because they do have 3 timeouts. That doesn't mean they don't want to try and score when they get the chance.
Had to throw it in, didn't you?
2 tight ends. Holmes, the deep man in the eye behind Richardson. Green dumps it to Priest Holmes. Holmes nearly broke a tackle, got inside the 20-yard line. Kansas City with all 3 timeouts left. And they'll use one here at 1:43.
The opportunity has to play.
Tight formation here, and Holmes, the deep man in the eye, off the right side. And Holmes just pushes the pile. He's got the first down at the 17-yard line. That was a powerful run.
You know, Trent Green is just standing around looking at the sidelines, and the clock is running. I think it's important to have your team in some type of a rhythm as well as trying to bleed a clock or make a decision on the sidelines.
Well, he's sitting around waiting for a play, and that's up to the offensive coordinator people to get him a play faster.
Eagles come with a blitz. Everybody. Holmes on a little swing. And that was a saving tackle out on the corner by Emmons.
Well, I tell you, was that a good tackle by Emmons? He's out there in space. He's got Priest Holmes. Priest Holmes made about 2 or 3 moves, and Emmons never... Watch Emmons. Watch 51. Priest Holmes, here's a move outside, inside, and Emmons just waits. All right, when you're done, I'm going to nail you.
Second down. Green straight back. Richardson to the 11. Clock running, and they have to use a timeout. Their second, and stop it with 24 seconds left.
What I didn't understand is in the previous 3 plays, after the play was run, Trent Green would just stare at the sidelines and just sort of wait for them to do something. What amazes me is quarterbacks in this day and age have headsets, ears, they can listen, they can talk to him. Coaches can actually talk to him. He doesn't need to be looking at the sidelines. To me, he should be thinking about what he wants to do with the football. And Al Saunders has to, I think, get the play in quicker and get his quarterback up and ready to go a little bit more.
Quarterback comparison tonight. McNabb 10 out of 14. Green has had success on this drive. He's up to 9 out of 15 and 76 yards.
You didn't have those, did you? Those headsets in your hand?
We didn't have those little...
Would you have listened to anybody anyway? Would you, honestly? Would you have listened to anybody?
I would have listened. I would have loved them because then we wouldn't have to try and figure out all the hieroglyphics that came from the sideline. I had a guy by the name of Nick Chiquinto who played halfback with me who helped me read the signals from the sidelines. They were so screwed.
3rd and 4. This is the 13th play of the drive coming. Green to the end zone and just underthrown enough so that Brian Dawkins could get a finger on it. It looked like Green floated that ball a little bit. He had him open.
That was touchdown.
It's a tough throw up and down. It's a hard throw to make, and Brian Dawkins just managed to get that fingernail up and tip it away from Tony Gonzalez.
Fingernail.
That's a fingernail.
Not a baby.
I think at best a fingernail got a piece of it.
Todd Peterson will try from 29 yards. $14 out of 16 this year. And they get 15 of 17 as the Chiefs get on the board with 16 seconds remaining in the half.
Trent Green has an opportunity to get 7 on the board. He lets it go. And right there, Brian Dawkins just manages to get a piece of it. He releases. The ball's got to go up in the air right there on the fake. I just think he lets it go a little bit too late. That's what happens with a little uncertainty. Of course, Coach Vermeil can't believe it. Had the perfect call in that drive.
Peterson to kick it away. Thrash is deep this time, has great speed. Thrash got it back to the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. Saturday night at 8 Eastern on ESPN2, you can see 7th-ranked BYU try to keep its undefeated season intact. They'll travel to Mississippi State to battle the Bulldogs. Cougar running back Luke Staley averaging 8.5 yards a carry and has run for 24 touchdowns this season. Should be a good one. Only 10 seconds to go here. The Eagles at their own 27. And they appear to be ready to kill the clock, up 13-3. And they do. So the Eagles, who have already acquitted themselves well after a struggle a week ago, will take a 13-3 lead into the locker room. And Suzy's with Andy Reid on the
ball out. They're going to have to throw the football to win this football game. For the Eagles, it's just a question of being real close and friendly down there. You see Brian Mitchell keeping his hands warm. And I think continuing to stretch the field, put the ball down the field, let Donovan McNabb throw it.
And I second that.
Peterson to kick to Brian Mitchell. A man of few words, Mr. Maguire. Bounces at his feet, takes it on the hop at the 13. And drilled as he got to the 28. Let's get down to the sideline and Suzy.
Well, Mike, here's the game plan. Dick Vermeil said that he feels like they are doing a good job with pass protecting. The thing is, when the Eagles unload and bring that blitz, they have to do a better job with the sight adjust, meaning Trent Green got to see it quick and read it. That smallish Eagles defense, he feels that they can get outside on the perimeter. Again, when they blitz, they just need to do a better job on the sight adjust. Mike?
All right, Suzy, Dick Vermeil, it's been a frustrating season for him. 1-4 at home for the Kansas City Chiefs. Staley, nice hole. Deuce Staley to the 35-yard line and then brought down by Jerome Woods. First half stats, the Eagles were in control certainly until that last drive. They still have a 211 to 125-yard advantage in total offense. The Chiefs have only thrown for 76 yards in the first half.
2nd and 2 from the 35.
Second and 2 for the Eagles. Staley cuts it back. And about a yard shy of a first down.
Because of the aggressive nature of this defense, and Greg Robinson likes to get people slicing up the field, he'll tell you, he'll bring them at times. They may get gashed, but more than likely they'll be able to throw defenses for or offenses for losses or else hold them to no gain. It's these 3rd and 1s where you have to be careful when you're an aggressive defense. He's telling them, watch the play action pass.
3rd and 1 for the Eagles. Their own 37-yard line. Staley to the right, cut off, and has nowhere to go. An excellent job of pursuit by Kansas City, and Derek Ransom gets the tackle.
Well, you know, I never like to play on 3rd down and short when you have a defense as aggressive as the Kansas City Chiefs and they're up on the line of scrimmage to go wide. You only need a yard. And the best way to do that is to go straight ahead. Deuce Staley almost fumbled this football.
That's the 2nd time the ball almost got out for him. On the first run of the half, same thing happened.
Blandetta, who had his first punt partially blocked, it went only 14 yards. Gets this one out of there. Hall at the 15. And got back to the 30-yard line. 15-yard return, a punt of 51. Kansas City trying to get its offense going. That's the big target. Can they get him the ball? The Chiefs will start from their own 30-yard line, down 13-3 to Philadelphia. 12:35 to go, 3rd quarter.
The defense did their job. Now the offense has to do theirs.
Gonzalez only 2 catches for 16 yards in the first half. They threw the ball to him 5 times. Out of bounds.
They've got to get the ball to Tony Gonzalez. They've had 6 different people covering on Tony Gonzalez. Watch him here. He split out. You'll see that little pass over the middle. That's the first catch he made. This little short to the outside. He split out. And then they try to get it to him down the middle for the touchdown. This ball was tipped. But Tony Gonzalez, you can see they've got to get the ball to him to move this offense down the field.
Come out on 2nd and 10. Priest Holmes, by the way, 45 yards in the first half. He's up to 9:47. And Holmes will go in motion. Green to Gonzalez, and Gonzalez is wrapped up by Trotter, and the flag comes in. Jeremiah Trotter, the middle linebacker, had Gonzalez that time.
Jeremiah Trotter was one of the 6 guys in the first half. Here's Jeremiah Trotter right here. Oh, he's got his arms wrapped around Tony Gonzalez. This is an excellent call. You see his left arm wrapped around him. They're going to call that every time.
He didn't let him go till he hit the ground.
No. This guy is nothing but smash mouth. Jeremiah Trotter, man, does he love to hit.
Made the Pro Bowl a year ago, leads his team in tackles. Automatic first down at the 35. Holmes off the left side, got the corner, but a nice tackle by Emmons.
Well, there's a guy that's been standing up all night long, is number 51, Carlos Emmons. He's made some outstanding plays.
2 yards on play.
When you have a very, very, I guess it is, very light defensive line, your linebackers better be active, and they can't afford to miss a tackle.
Not only are they active, Jeremiah Trotter is 260. Carlos Emmons is 250. So they're almost as big as the defensive linemen.
And Caldwell is a little guy on the weak side at 237. It's 2nd and 9. Short set and the pass behind Alexander, who didn't turn around until it bounced behind him, and the fans start to boo.
Joe, everybody on Philadelphia read the pass play except for the Kansas City Chiefs. They didn't read anything.
It's a good thing Trent Green threw it where no one could get it. This is what's called a sight adjustment. You heard Suzy read it. When the safety comes up to the line of scrimmage, Trent Green expects the blitz, and he expects Derek Alexander to run a post. Problem is, Derek Alexander never gets a chance to see it.
It's one of the problems with the new system, as you see Trent Green's number, is that everybody has to be on the same page, and that takes time. And as Joe pointed out earlier, Alexander hasn't had the familiarity with that offense. Blitz coming. Underneath, that won't get it done. It'll be 4th and about 4.
You know, every week that we do a game, there's things that totally amaze me. And that's when you need 8 or 9 yards and you throw a 4-yard pattern.
Wait a second, though. They brought the house that time. If he's standing there waiting for somebody to go 9 yards,
you got to stand in there.
He's never going to get.
You have to stand there and take the punch.
It's easy for you to say. You stood 15 yards back.
Straczynski hangs one high for Mitchell. Mitchell, fair catch up at the 28-yard line. A punt of only 31 yards, but no return. And the Eagles get the ball back, leading 13-3, third quarter from Kansas City.
25 yards. The last 15 carries, 28 yards.
Blitz coming. McNabb hangs in the pocket and throws. Pinkston. It is a catch.
We did the Eagle-Dallas game earlier in the year, and Todd Pinkston made some great catches in that game. He really has exceptional hands. He let the interception get to his body, but this one, watch how he plays the ball off the back shoulder of the defender. And
Warfield never saw it, had no idea where it was. And now McNabb has gone over 202 yards. Last week he threw for only 92 the entire game.
I think he's having fun.
Staley picks up about 8. We asked McNabb about the key to turning around the last 2 weeks of poor play.
Just the time is there. You're feeling that rhythm. That's when you're out there having fun. And in the past 2 weeks, I haven't been having fun. And that's probably the main reason for that is just going out there and feeling that rhythm, feeling good about things. And, you know, once you get that, you know, and it comes back, we'll be right back where we want to be.
He's the kind of a leader a football team wants, a guy who is very charismatic, very smart, and very talented. Under pressure here. Scrambles, throws on the run, complete to the 29. This time it's Freddie Mitchell. Let's go to Suzy for more on Donovan McNabb.
Andy Reid really stresses that he tries not to tell Donovan when he should run and when he shouldn't. And a big topic has been that he just hasn't been running enough. But he says that the only verbiage in the offense uses the word run is just go out and run the offense. He doesn't tell him when he should or he shouldn't.
He's been doing just fine tonight. Buckhalter checks in on first down to give Staley a break. Buckhalter will get the carry, and there's absolutely nothing there as Marcus Patton slowed it down, and now a flag comes in at the end of the play. By the way, the Chiefs operating without Eric Downing, who is questionable on his return with leg cramps. So Norris McCleary, number 75 in the defensive line for Kansas City.
Holding, 71, offense, 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Jermaine Mayberry, the right guard.
So much of what this offense does relies on Donovan McNabb's personality. If he's smiling, everybody looks in the huddle and sees him enjoying himself. They play a little bit better. When he's down, as Suzy mentioned, he drags everybody down. You look at his pass completion percentage tonight. Tonight he feels in that rhythm. And young guys will go through a slump in the early parts of their career.
McNabb takes off, room to run. Doesn't slide, gets inside the 25-yard line. 4 yards shy of a first down. A gain of 15 for McNabb.
Absolutely no hesitation on this play. He went back, the middle is wide open, and he was gone.
See, when you're an effective runner, the decision to go has to be made right away, and you can't second guess. And I asked him yesterday, is it hard to make that decision of how long you should stay in the pocket or when you should take off? And he said, I just try and let my instincts determine when I'm going to do it. That time, he just went right away.
And now McNabb will use a timeout and go over and talk to Andy Reid. 8:24 go, third quarter. Philadelphia by 10. 13-3, Eagles over the Chiefs here in Kansas City with 8:24 to go, third quarter. Philadelphia driving. They have the ball at the 24-yard line. Second down. Nice numbers for Donovan McNabb. 215 yards passing, 36 rushing. To the end zone, flag down at the goal line. That's going to be interference on Ray Crockett. Intended for Thrash. The ball underthrown. Thrash tried to come back, and he couldn't because of Crockett.
See, I believe that you have to do this in offenses. Throw the ball out there. Let the wide receiver be a good actor. There's a good jam. Now, Ray Crockett never gets himself turned around to find the ball. James Thrash does an excellent job to try and fight through the defender to make a play.
You know, the nice part about it, Thrash knows he can't catch the ball. There's no way that he can catch that football. But all he has to do is make an attempt.
That's right.
He knows there's going to be contact because Ray Crockett can't find the ball.
And, Joe, you're absolutely right. We see the teams that go long during a ball game. They always seem to get a couple of those.
You have to try. I think you have to throw 4 to 6 times deep just so that you can allow the officials to make a call for you, whether you get the completion or not. The other thing it does, it tends to loosen up the corners a little bit.
Now he likes the officials, Mike.
Always like the officials.
Jamie Reeder comes in as a blocking back in front of Deuce Staley. They'll blow the play dead momentarily.
Okay, everybody's on the same page now. Let's start it over. The KC defense came up big last time the Eagles got close to the goal line.
McNabb overthrown for the tight end, Chad Lewis. Had him out in the flat in the corner of the end zone and missed him.
You got Deuce Staley. Run the ball. You're on the 1 yard. No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
You're on a 1 yard line. You got 4 down. Put the ball in the end zone and keep the clock.
McNabb in the red zone. Look at the numbers. 31 touchdowns, 2 picks.
That's what you stress as a coach to a quarterback. Learn how to come away with points, learn how to make plays. A lot of that has to do with his athletic ability down here as well.
Back to the eye, play action, McNabb. Throws on the run, touchdown.
Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart, who was activated for this game, plays very little, gets his first touchdown catch, and he was wide open.
See, I like him passing on second down, not on
will
first.
you stinker.
You're bad, Paul.
I like this. A little rollout, play action.
He tries to go to the corner again, but his ability to move, and a nice job by Tony Stewart just to sort of slide into the area where the defenders had left.
Akers for the point after. And now it is a 20-3 ball game. Eagles in control over Kansas City. And Donovan McNabb, off a couple of subpar performances, having a big night tonight. Scoring drive, 71 yards on 6 plays for Tony Stewart. His first touchdown catch. Not only that, his first catch this year. Not only that, it's the first catch of his career.
Not only that.
I'm done. Dante Hall is deep to return. The Chiefs have always had magic here at Arrowhead. And they find it tonight. Hall from the 2. Nice cut by Dante Hall. Trying to outrun Akers, the kicker. And Akers knocked him out of bounds. There's some magic for you.
Yeah, but what a nice job by Akers to take an angle. He slowed down when he had to. Gives you an idea how fast those kickers are. David Akers just does a really nice job of cutting off the angle so that Dante Hall can't turn it up the sideline. Through the crease, gets through the wedge. Now he turns it on outside. It looks like he's got clear sailing. But here comes David Akers.
Look at that form tackle.
Makes contact.
That's what these kickers can do.
Form tackle.
By far the longest kick return of the year for Dante Hall. Priest Holmes off the right side. This play has worked all night long. And Priest Holmes to the 31, planted by Hollis Thomas.
And this is only the 3rd time this evening that Kansas City has crossed the 50-yard line.
And it's also the first time, Paul, they've had a kickoff return for 40 yards or better since 1998.
To work on their special team.
And came at the best time it possibly could, down 17 here in the 3rd quarter.
Trent Green has been okay, but now he needs to start getting the ball up in the air a little bit more.
Blitz coming. Eagles may have been offside. Holmes tries to go outside and picks up about a yard. Let's see if the Eagles were offside. It looked like Hugh Douglas and maybe Hollis Thomas both jumped.
There's a penalty flag.
Offside, defense, number 94, 5-yard penalty, first down.
I'm going to say N.D. Kalu was the first one across, out of bounds. Priest Holmes has now moved up to 3rd in the NFL. The advantage of playing on Thursday night before everyone else gets a shot on the weekend. Bettis and Curtis Martin, the closest to 1,000 coming in. But Holmes only 45 yards away now.
How about the year Jerome Bettis is having?
Magnificent.
The bus is on full tilt.
Holmes to the right. This time the Eagles do a better job defensively and Priest Holmes down to the 25-yard line.
But I still like the way Priest Holmes runs. There really is not a whole lot of hesitation. When he sees that all those white shirts are out in front of him, he's going to just get as much as he can. And all he could really get there was 2 yards.
See, now you've got this Eagle defense chasing and chasing and chasing. Good time to run some type of play action, maybe off the pitch fake, and get Gonzalez or somebody up the field a little bit to get some chunks.
2nd and 9. Richardson. It's a double slot to the right now. Alexander goes back in motion. Holmes wide open in the flat. Priest Holmes, nice cut and close to a first down. Needed to reach the 11.
He made a nice cut back to the inside in. Simmons can't make that stop and get back. When Priest Holmes catches it, he can see the linebacker sitting on the outside. He just went it back into the inside and picked up they got about a yard to go. Watch this move that he makes. Priest Holmes right there and stop back to the inside. Get your shoulders square. It's a nice play.
There is no wasted motion about this guy. Two tight ends on third and short. Richardson, the big fullback, has the first down inside the Eagle 15-yard line.
The Eagle defense, as good as it has been, is sort of a departure from the big dominant defenses that we see Chicago and Baltimore and Miami, where they've got the two really big guys inside. Here you've got Hollis Thomas at 306, which is really light for a tackle, and Corey Simon at 293.
Holmes inside the 12.
Tom's the ball carrier.
Covered by Damon Moore, the strong safety. Priest Holmes, Dick Vermeil says, yeah, he is better than I thought he was, and I liked him to begin with. 56 yards on the ground, 23 through the air. Came in ranked third in the NFL in yards from scrimmage.
And there's everything to like about the guy.
Isn't there? Especially his personality.
There are no negatives to this guy.
Blitz coming. Green floats it. Gonzalez spins to make the catch. And Tony Gonzalez bowls his way inside the 5.
Boy, does that show the athletic ability of Tony Gonzalez.
And the strength.
Oh, yeah.
It's one thing to go catch the ball, right?
Then to get yourself back into play. Watch this. This ball, first of all, look at it. Stop, come back. I got the ball. Now, here's where he shows his strength.
Brian Dawkins is just hanging on to him. Tries to bring him down, but you got a size mismatch there. 5'11" up against 6'4", and he just powers his way.
Gonzalez was such a good athlete in high school. He shared California Athlete of the Year awards with one Tiger Woods. Holmes to about the 3. Carlos Emmons with another tackle for the Eagles.
He was tackled by Troy Hudson.
It's interesting, talking to Al Saunders, the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs. He says, once you get down into the red area, it becomes a personnel issue. In other words, who can I match up against who to get an advantage? They tried to run the out and up on Dawkins before to Tony Gonzalez. He said you can't fool them, and you lose the vertical part of your game. And for the Chiefs, it's good because they don't have one.
And certainly you're not going to roll out Trent Green very often.
It sort of means it's Priest Holmes or Tony Gonzalez.
Green with time. Alexander, touchdown. Derek Alexander with only his second touchdown catch of the year.
I'll tell you what a great job he did of getting his feet down. He knew exactly where he was in that end zone, and he didn't have a whole lot of room. Here comes Derek Alexander. Goes back to the inside. Look at this. Look at watch his feet. Man, is that awareness?
Boy, good throw by Trent Green, too. Really stuck it in there. And Peterson with the point after. So now the Eagles have given up 10 points. That's more than they've given up in any road game this year. But they still lead by 10. Tay Hall's big kickoff return set up a 38-yard scoring drive that took 5 minutes off the clock, and Alexander capped it with a 3-yard touchdown pass from Trent Green. So it's 20-10, and that's Brian Mitchell, one of the great returners in the history of the game. They squib this kick, and taken by Damian Douglas. The flag is down. Douglas reaches the 36. Flag back at the 30.
Holding.
holding on the return team, number 34. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Jamie Reeder called for the hold. Sunday night, Eric Moulds and the Bills battle Terrell Owens and the 49ers on ESPN Sunday Night Football at 8:28 Eastern. And on Monday night at 9, the Packers travel to Jacksonville to face the Jaguars on ABC's Monday Night Football. Boy, don't you have to take your hats off to the 49ers with that 8-2 record. They have been tremendous.
What a job the front office has done identifying young players, too.
And Steve Mariucci for coaching them. McNabb, plenty of time, throws underneath to Thrash. He'll be triple team for more on James Thrash down to Suzy.
Well, Mike, he's the guy who's making life a little bit easier for Donovan McNabb this season. It's clear that they have developed that rapport. They are the combo this season. Donovan can hit him in a short route. He can hit him going across the middle, or he can hit him in the deep crossing routes. And finally, working Ray Crockett for the interference call that led to the Eagles' second TD. He says the secret is the refusal to give up on a pass pattern. If you are on the field, there is no time to relax.
And Suzy, he's one of those guys with a great work ethic. Staley trying to lean forward, gets to the 32. You hear about guys taking plays off and the controversies that it causes. You will never see James Thrash take a play off. I guarantee you that.
I was talking to you this morning. We were talking about Thrash in our meeting, and you said, I cannot believe that the Washington Redskins let this guy go.
Neither could anybody else in Washington.
Well, you know, he had an opportunity to move on and make some money. You got to remember it. You know, they let him go, but he also had a chance to go inside someplace else.
And he did. And he's the leading receiver for this ball club. McNabb takes off and slides down near the 37-yard line.
I've been impressed not only with the immediacy of how Donovan McNabb wants to take off and run, but the fact that he's doing it on 1st and 10. What he's doing is he doesn't see what he wants right away. Look at no hesitation. Set, fire. There's the hole. Let me go. I know I can pick up yards. Now it's 2nd down and 5. Those are good decisions when you have the athletic ability he has.
And I'll tell you another thing. You're going to run with the football as a quarterback. When you look down the middle of the field, you can see all the way to the goal line. You know you've got to get out of there. You've got plenty of room to run.
225 passing, 41 rushing for Donovan McNabb. Deuce Staley, an enormous hole. Midfield and then down to the 46.
Michael, this play was not designed to go where Deuce Staley just ran it. What Deuce Staley saw was the same thing that Donovan McNabb did when he was back in the passing. He saw that wide open up the middle. He made that quick cut, and he was gone.
Watch them seal it. Right there. You see this entire defensive line get pushed out. And only one guy. Nice job down the field by Trey Thomas. The big tackle getting down the field, clearing the way for his running back.
1st and 10 from the Kansas City 46. McNabb with time and short at the 21. That one skipped in to Freddie Mitchell.
He tried to put some mustard on that one. The ability of the Eagles to run the football has really put their linebackers in a box. They're not sure whether to come up and try and tackle or else try and go down the field and cover the receivers. But Andy Reid has decided he is not going to back off. The best way to get your quarterback out of a funky 2 weeks is to cut him loose and let it fly.
Well, we mentioned at the beginning of the telecast he's taken some heat for the last couple of weeks. But remember the talent this young man has. He was a Pro Bowler last year and 2nd in the MVP ballot. McNabb deep this time, incomplete. Thrash with a diving try inside the 10.
You're going to see a terrific play by Eric Warfield. Watch his right arm. It just goes off his fingertips just away from James Thrash.
The Eagles were flying high behind Deuce and McNabb, but the Chiefs down by only 10 with a quarter to go. At the 4th quarter, 15 minutes to go from Kansas City. Welcome back, everybody. Mike Patrick, Paul Maguire, Joe Theismann, Suzy Kolber down at the sideline. This is a huge game for the Eagles. They blew an opportunity to get a lot of breathing room last week. They can get it back today.
And I like what they're doing in this ball game, especially in the 3rd quarter, Joe, and that's throwing the ball down the field.
I agree.
McNabb with a strike to the 28-yard line. That's going to be a first down to Freddie Mitchell.
We've talked about Donovan McNabb throwing the ball down the field, and he's done it in every quarter. The thing that is impressive is his offensive line has given him a lot of time. They're allowing him to pay off to the skill guys outside and make plays. Last week, the Phillies had 3 plays over 10 yards. Tonight, they have 13.
Thought the Phillies season was over.
Not this Phillies.
The Phillies. The Philadelphia
Phillies, Eagles.
The Eagles. They're Phillies.
First and 10. Staley. Little stutter step down near the 25-yard line. Marcus Patton with another tackle. That offensive line, they have been intact most of the year. Trey Thomas, the big left tackle, 11 starts. Wellborn with 10. He's the only guy who has missed a start. Hank Fraley out of Robert Morris, the center. Mayberry has started all 11. This is actually the first time that he has ever started in the same spot 2 years in a row. And the road grader, Big John Runyon at the right tackle. So Wellborn, the only one to miss a start. That is key to the Eagles' success. McNabb dumps it underneath to Cecil Martin. Martin down to the 23. And Martin, as a kid, when he was recruited out of high school to play at Wisconsin, was living in a homeless shelter.
You know, Michael, you're just talking about that offensive line and showing them. When you look at these guys, I'm going to tell you something. That time, Donovan McNabb, watch the blocking up front. Look at the red shirt still about 2 yards away from the line of scrimmage. McNabb has all day to throw the ball.
That is the most crucial aspect for a quarterback, to feel like you're able to step up into a pocket and make your full free release.
The Eagles better than 2-1 in total offense and exactly 2-1 on the scoreboard. Blitz coming. McNabb. Pulled down at the 21.
Greg Wesley, what a terrific play by Greg Wesley. You hear defenses refer to spying on quarterbacks. And what Kansas City does is you expect maybe a linebacker like Donnie Edwards. But Greg Wesley plays so well around the line of scrimmage. This was a quarterback draw. And Greg was not going to let Donovan pick up those yards.
And the Chiefs have an injury. It's Rich Owens, the backup defensive end, who is still down. Wesley with great closing speed. That's Owens at the end of the play coming in. And Kansas City getting very thin along that defensive line. Eric Downing went out earlier. That kind of thing won't happen to them. Akers has already hit from 24 and 33. This is from 38. And Akers right down the middle. Philadelphia extends its lead to 23-10 over Kansas City. And we have 12:20 to go in the ball game here at Arrowhead. .12:20 to go in the game. The lead is 13. And Dante Hall, who had a 59-yard return on his last drive, waits for Akers' kick. Hall from the 5. Oh, not this time. Hit and dropped in his tracks by Correll Buckhalter, the backup running back. Nice tackle on special teams. Priest Holmes came in trying to become the first 1,000-yard back this year. Hasn't made it. Priest Holmes up to 959 yards rushing with 57 tonight. He has 80 yards in yards from scrimmage total offense for the Kansas City Chiefs. They need some yards now, and they need it in chunks.
And they need
down 2 touchdowns.
I think they need to find Tony Gonzalez again.
He's right there. He's number 88.
Yeah, well, number 10's got to find him.
Green, a little roll underneath. Richardson to the 21. More on Priest Holmes. Here's Suzy.
Well, did you ever realize that it was such a science to be a free agent? Priest Holmes says he wanted to come here to Kansas City because they met all his criteria, and the list is a long one. Number 1, it's great to be wanted, and Dick Vermeil wanted him. Natural grass, easier on the body. Arrowhead always has great energy. He knew the system would allow him to shine. And having Tony Gonzalez here, well, that meant he didn't have to carry the load. And we'll finish the list after the play.
All right. Holmes fighting for extra yardage, was stopped at the 24. Suzy?
Well, then there's some of the obvious things, money and being near home, getting out of the division with tough defenses. But the last one, the most interesting, which is an underdog position coach, a guy who played in the NFL but wasn't necessarily a superstar. He just felt that they could really relate, have more in common. He learned enough from watching the stars already on film. James Saxon fits the role. He takes pride in helping guys find what they already had, and he calls him the big little man.
Very detailed explanation of why Priest Holmes wanted to come to Kansas City. They met 13 of his 15 criteria. Green trying to buy some time, does throw it incomplete.
Boy, but what a job he did to buy the time. It looked like they were going to have him trapped. Corey Simon almost had him for his second sack of the game, and Trent Green just pulled a little, here I am, no I'm not. Good job of the secondary. He's got nowhere to go with the football. Escapes up inside. Knows he can't run. Oh, they thought I was going backwards. I got him.
Boy, what a beautiful move to get away from the pressure. But it still brings up fourth down. Krasinski to kick to Mitchell. And the Eagles should have good field position. Krasinski hangs another one high. Mitchell falling down as he made the fair catch at the 33-yard line. A kick of 42. No return. 10:33 to go in this game. Eagles by 13. Eagles take over at their own 33, leading 23-10 here in Kansas City. 10:33 to go in the ball game. Staley. Deuce across the 35 to about the 36. Let's take a look at our game track and catch you up to date on some of the stars of this ball game. Trent Green only 105 yards passing tonight, but one touchdown. It's been Donovan McNabb of the Eagles as he's thrown for 246, rushed for 43 more. And Deuce Staley now up to 123 yards from scrimmage. 2nd and 7. Staley picking his way for a couple more.
You know, it's
3rd and about 5.
It really is awfully easy. No, not awfully easy. To throw the ball when you got a guy that can run the ball. Wait a second.
Hold it. 1 second. It's really easy to throw the ball when you have a guy to run the ball.
You have a guy that can run the ball. I'm talking about Deuce Staley running the ball. Getting the yards he does when you can run the football. It's much easier to throw the ball.
Oh, I agree.
What's so hard about that? Are you awake? Are you there? I think that
I agree with
the
you.
thermal underwear's riding up on you.
Pinkston out in the flat. Has the first down and more. Cut it back, but he was out of bounds at the 46.
Well, when you take a look, we've talked about the youth and the inexperience that Trent Green has had to deal with as far as Kansas City goes. Donovan McNabb in this receiving corps. Freddie Mitchell's their first-round pick. He's a rookie. Todd Pinkston's a second-year guy. James Thrash is in his 5th year. And you see the move he makes up the field. I mean, he's a big guy at 6'2", but only 170 pounds.
You don't see many 170-pound wide receivers or anything else. You don't see 170-pound kickers. Pinkston out of SMU, 2nd-round draft choice a year ago. Back to the ground, and Staley just eating up the clock as he gets to the 44. And down to Suzy.
And if there's a reason why the Philadelphia wide receivers do have an advantage, they face one of the best secondaries in the NFL every day at practice. And it's the ideal situation for a second-year guy like Pinkston, who Troy Vinston beat up pretty good in the preseason trying to get him ready for a full season like this. Or another skinny guy, Snoop Minnis. I stood next to him on the field before the game. I think I have more bulk than him.
Oh, no, you don't, Suzy. No, you don't.
Draw play, Deuce Staley. Nothing there. You know, Suzy had the list on Priest Holmes. like to see the guy's shopping list. You know, green beans, 14-ounce can with almonds, canned before October.
When he was in Baltimore, Brian Billick is a big proponent, and I agree with this. You have to write down your goals. You write down your goals, you have a chance to have things happen in your life, and he really took it to heart. And when he became a free agent, he wrote down all those goals, and he hit 13 out of 15 of them. That's pretty good when you go out shopping for a job.
I've got one goal right now. Get home after this road trip.
I wish we had another one next Tuesday.
Blitz coming against McNabb. Thrash. Lunging for the first down. The ball is down.
I think he might have the first down. It's going to be real close.
Depends on the spot. Where he had it out in front of him, he had it, but they're going to bring it back closer to his body, and I think he'll be short.
You know, here's a play. Let's not forget about the rules. Where your knees are down and where the ball is when your knee is down. It's not where you extend it afterwards. And Thrash gets a great extension here. Now, the question is where his knee's down when he extended the ball. This is not a first down. This is about a half. It's about a half yard short. All right.
There's the 1st and 10 line.
Now watch where Thrash is. And now if his knees are down, now he reaches out.
And even when he reached, he didn't quite make it.
No, they're a half yard short.
That's what I said.
What do you do if you're Andy Reid at this point?
Go for it. The players want to go for it, and Andy said no. Let's punt it.
I think you punt it. Your defense is playing well. You've won. You're 17-3 when your team scores 20 points or more. And Kansas City has shown no threat of offense. I'd punt them back as deep as they can go.
I have to go along with that. I mean, you're up by 13.
This is where ego sometimes gets in the way. Sometimes coaches figure, all right, now we can really put them away. We can really lock them up. Smart
another
football.
thing, though, is coaches don't really care what we think.
You noticed that?
It's kind of an amazing thing. They just don't for some reason or other.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Landetta will kick. Clock running as we approach the 7-minute mark in this game. Eagles trying to go to 7-4 and get a little breathing room in the division.
They're going to let it go all the way down and take the 5-yard penalty.
Time is their biggest ally right now. They snap it just before it expires. Left about 3 seconds on the clock. Nice kick by Landetta, and they have to make a fair catch inside the 10. 27-yard punt, but perfectly placed. Donovan McNabb said he hadn't been having any fun. He's having some tonight. 23-10, Eagles over the Chiefs. 6:44 to go from Kansas City. The Chiefs are going to get back in the game. This is the drive they need. And they have to start from their own 9. Screen to Priest Holmes. Slips past a couple of blockers. And finally touchdown at the 24-yard line. He has been their offense.
And that's the problem. Their wide receivers have not been able to participate. They're in a hurry-up offense now to get it moving, and they've got the Eagles spread out.
And Tony Gonzalez has caught only 3 passes tonight for 24 yards. Alexander breaks the tackle and gets it out to the 35.
First down. 2 in a row.
The Eagles will be content to let them have the short ones until they get down closer to the goal line, and they'll tighten everything up.
Whistle, stop the play. And this will be procedure against Kansas City. Somebody moved early.
Prior to the snap, false start. 88, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles. His team has 33 sacks by 14 different guys. And last week, the Redskins ran 40 times against him. He made up his mind it wasn't going to happen tonight.
And they're second in the NFL in points allowed, only 11 a game. Priest Holmes, another screen. Fumble. Eagles have it. Priest Holmes coughed it up. And the Eagles recover.
Bobby Taylor got the recovery.
Dick Vermeil, when we had a chance to talk to him, said that we're a football team that has no margin for error. Last week against Seattle, no turnovers, just 3 penalties. And in a game like this, when they're up against a team like the Eagles, Corey Simon comes around and forces the turnover. They're just not good enough to overcome those type of plays.
And the only thing that Priest Holmes has done wrong all night. But it's a big one as the Eagles take over at the Kansas City 46, and they'll go to work on the clock again.
Well, one of the things he's trying to do is, all night long, he's been trying to get this team back in the game, and you're trying to do a little bit more and forget about holding on to the football.
Staley off the right side. Taken down at the 42. Wesley made the tackle. The Eagles 213 yards allowed tonight. They came in with an average of 276. That's 4th in the league. And that is a tough defense. The one Achilles heel for them in the last couple of games at least is they had not been able to stop the run very well.
Well, they did a very nice job tonight. Well, not a great job, because Priest Holmes did get some yardage running the football.
But there's nobody outside that they have to worry about.
Deuce to the 39. It'll be about 3 yards shy of a first down, but the clock now under 5 minutes. Eric Hicks with the tackle.
The last time Philadelphia had the ball, Joe, they ran off 4 minutes off the clock and only got 1 first down doing it. They can take some time off of this clock. They need a first down here. They can kind of put it away.
And if they don't get it here, I guarantee you they'll punt them back again and make the Chiefs try and go an awful long way in a short period of time.
Play action. McNair for Thrash. Incomplete pass underthrown. Good coverage by Warfield. And here comes the punt team. And Thrash is down again. He has gotten up slowly a couple of times tonight. They can ill afford to lose him.
Looks like it might be cramps. It's such a cold night. Little play action. They get what they want. Eric Warfield does a nice job. Actually, Thrash knocks the ball away from Warfield. He's had his hands on a couple. James Thrash does a good job of knocking this ball away.
He's had to play defensive back 2 or 3 times tonight. And Thrash is still down.
Of course, it was a big play in the first half when the Kansas City Chiefs had an opportunity, partially blocked the punt, and unfortunately Eric Warfield tried to field it, got away from him. Eagles wound up with an opportunity to put a little distance in this game between them and the Chiefs.
Thrash 5 catches, 65 yards on the night. Could have really jammed that left shoulder as he went down hard. Hope you'll stay tuned for SportsCenter coming up when we're done. Chris Berman and Dan Patrick. NFL soap operas continue. Manning, Mora, and Glenn. Mel Kiper's top 10 for the NFL. And Alabama to a bowl game, we'll find out. And obviously working on the leg of James Thrash, and he is putting the pants down back over the left knee.
Both of these teams had to get ready on a short week, and you know, the Chiefs, they didn't get a chance to savor a rare victory, and the Eagles were very fortunate to be able to get a bad taste of their mouth because the Redskins, Marty and his ball club, just ran it right down the Eagles' throat. And Andy Reid will tell you, he didn't feel like his offense played well. He said that he had to do a better job of calling games, and his quarterback had to play better. And his quarterback has played better in a large part because of this guy's ability to catch the football tonight. Little smile, Donovan. Come on. You got to be having a little bit of fun.
Yeah, not when he's looking over at Thrash limping, he doesn't.
Sean Landell in punt formation.
Thrash very slowly makes his way to the sidelines, and Landeta will come on to kick again to Dante Hall. Nice high floater. And Hall makes the fair catch to 17, 22-yard kick. Let's check in with Suzy.
Oh, we want to get you up to date with how the scoring went in this one. Second quarter, a blocked punt led to the swing pass. Deuce Staley takes it into the end zone to make it 10-0 Eagles. In the third, McNabb hits Tony Stewart, his first ever NFL catch, 20-3. The Chiefs trying to rally. Trent Green to Derek Alexander made it 20-10. The Eagles added 3 field goals. We're at 23-10.
And Suzy, now it's desperation time for Kansas City. They need 2 touchdowns, have only 4:04 to get it, and must start from their own 18. Three-man rush this time. Green underneath. A rare catch for Gonzalez, only his 4th of the night to the 23. Last 3 times they've had the ball, Kansas City has started inside its own 20. Gonzalez incomplete. And I'll guarantee you this, the Eagles will give Kansas City every 3-yard pass they want to throw.
Well, yeah, they will, but that time you saw Bobby Taylor come off the corner and jump up and try and knock this ball down. So don't think that Jim Johnson's just going to sit back and let his safeties play 20 yards deep. He's still going to bring a variety of rushes. This is when you get the pass interceptions. This football team only has 8 interceptions because they play so much man-to-man, the guys don't get a chance. Now is when you get a chance to pad the interceptions.
3rd and 5, here comes the blitz. Screen to Holmes. Running room in front. Priest Holmes still on his feet. Fighting for extra yardage. Priest Holmes down to the 41-yard line. You don't think he was a little fired up after fumbling the last one? It took everybody to get him down.
And he wasn't going to let him take it away from him either.
No, he was running full speed. He got great block into the outside. Here's the screen pass. And watch Priest Holmes. He gets some excellent blocking, but he breaks a tackle there. That's 1, 2, 3 tackles.
Green double clutches, underthrows, intercepted by Harris. Al Harris.
Well, that time Trent Green waited and waited and waited. If you're running ghost, your arm's not strong enough. I don't care who you are to be able to step up in the pocket twice and think you're able to throw the ball down the field without getting a defensive back in position to make a play on it.
And is Al Harris a pretty good 3rd corner or what?
They got him.
Well, Al Harris, I mean, he makes an excellent player. Look at the hands on this guy, but he should have just stayed right there in the end zone.
Larry Parker not able to knock it away. Now he pivots, turns,
and if it weren't for screen passes, Kansas City would have almost nothing passing the ball tonight.
Well, they haven't been able to get anything to their wide receivers.
Now the Eagles will show Kansas City a big dose of Deuce Staley.
Let me just correct something. It's a good thing Al Harris brought it out, because he was not in the end zone when he intercepted the ball. Momentum took him into the end zone. Then it brought it out to the 1-yard line. He did the smart thing by bringing it out.
There's Trent Green. See him step pump, step pump.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. You just don't have the time to be able to step and pump. This is what I was talking about. In the pocket, pumps once, steps up, pumps, steps again, pumps. Defensive backs, no matter what you're doing up the field in this situation, are going to be getting back as far as they can. The chances of getting a completion aren't good.
Trent Green tonight, 19 out of 31, but only 188 yards.
And his 17th interception.
Which puts him worst in the NFL in that category.
And, you know, he sits down and he tries to be logical about it. He says 4 have been batted, a couple of tries at the end of a game. Instance like that where you're trying to make a play, you still don't want to throw interceptions.
Staley off off the right side. Gang tackled inbounds to 15. Keep in mind what Trent Green did the 1 year he got to start in Washington. Threw easily for over 3,000 yards. He had a great future ahead of him in St. Louis until he was hurt. When they are able to get the other pieces around him in this offense, Trent Green will be very successful in Kansas City. But when you come in and change offensive and defensive systems, it takes time, one, for the players to learn them, and two, to get the guys that you want in the lineup. There's one of them, Priest Holmes.
They don't need one wide receiver. If they want to run the offense that Dick Vermeil and Al Saunders wants to run, they need 2 or 3. And it's just not an easy thing to find, because speed at the wide receiver position is something that's very unique. They're going to have to, I think, build through the draft, and that's going to take more than 1 or 2 years.
And the draft hasn't been very kind to them in the last few years.
Yeah, but I really believe they've got one in Snoop Minnis.
He's going to be a player.
As soon as he finds out where to go.
And Derek Alexander, if he can stay healthy, he'll give you some toughness at the wide receiver position.
3rd and 5. Staley. Shy of the 20, and they'll have to kick it away. If you update the standings in the NFC East, Philadelphia now at 7-4, game and a half over Washington.
Giants
2 full games in a loss column over the Giants.
Giants are off this week. They get the bye. Washington plays Dallas. Now, based upon the way Washington has played, and that game sort of sits by itself. You just can't look at the records of the Washington-Dallas games.
Andy Reid is the kind of a coach that you really have to admire. There is not a lot of discipline at times in the National Football League. Sometimes there can't be, the way the salary cap is structured. But he had 3 players that were picked up by police in Philadelphia on suspicion of marijuana possession. Correll Buckholz, Darryl Crutchfield, and Terrence Carroll. Reid suspended all of them for 1 game, and then he cut Carroll, who was the only one charged with a crime. In the spring, he released a running back, Thomas Hamner, who skipped out on a court date of publicly beating his dog. Andy Reid is not going to put up with it. He believes in having the organization and his coaching staff respected by the players, and they are going to conduct themselves the way the organization and he sees fit. And I just admire the daylights out of the guy.
It should be.
You cannot be an organization that can hang together in tough times if you don't have people of character. It won't work. It hasn't worked. It'll never work.
And you can't have separate rules for separate guys. And I don't care how big a star a guy is on your football team. You have 53 players on your team. The rules have to apply to all 53.
And I don't care who it is. Anyone that hits a woman, a child, or a dog ought to be gone. Period. 2:38 to go in this game, and the Eagles will have to punt it away. Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2, the Missouri Tigers will head to Michigan State. They'll face T.J. Duckett and the Michigan State Spartans. Duckett's run for over 1,000 yards and has more than 5 yards a carry this season for Michigan State. The other thing about Andy Reid, huh? Yeah, that's right, TJ. You got to be a player if you go by initials.
Isn't that right, Paul?
I'm going to get you. I'll get you Sunday. I can assure you I will get you.
Just a couple days away, partner. We're just a couple days away from doing it.
Well, I can tell you, we were never called JT.
Landetta unloads.
Heck, I was so bad I changed my name.
Dante Hall back to the 44-yard line, a return of 7. Now only 2:26 to go in the game. Kansas City out of timeout, so the only thing they can hope for is to get a quick touchdown here. If the Eagles hang on and win this ball game, it would be a team record. 8 straight wins on the year, or 8 straight wins over 2 years on the road. Only the 49ers back in 88 and 90 have a better road record. They won 18 in a row. That is remarkable.
People didn't want to see them come to town.
No. Draw play to Priest Holmes. Holmes still on his feet, cuts it outside, inside the 40 to the 39. Clearly, he has been the most effective offensive weapon they have in the arsenal.
Priest Holmes has, but I want to take you back to why the Eagles are so effective on the road. They feel like they put a lot of pressure on themselves in front of their home fans. On the road, they just don't feel like they have any pressure on them, and they get a chance to relax.
Alexander tackled inbounds at the 24, and we have reached the 2-minute warning in Kansas City. 2 minutes to go for the Chiefs, down by 13 points. Priest Holmes is clearly not giving up on this cause. All right, guys, we'll look forward to it. 23-10, 2 minutes to go here. Kansas City needs to score, has to get the ball back and score again. Blitz coming. Trent Green under pressure and sacked back at the 30.
Now he's got 6.5. Okay, Warren, strap it up. The battle's on for sacks by tackles.
Corey Simon with 2 tonight, 6.5 for the season. Green flushed out of the pocket, hit low from behind by Hugh Douglas.
Well, you know, one of the rules is you cannot hit a quarterback below the knees, but this time Hugh Douglas was blocked into him. Number 53 coming around. There's Tate. He's already by Tate. Tate's looking inside. Look at Douglas. He's been going down. He could not avoid doing this.
And that's how Trent Green wound up getting hurt the last time.
Well, he's look at that. He's holding his knee in the huddle.
He was holding his breath on the way down.
A lot of people were.
3rd and 16. Screen to Holmes. Priest Holmes to the 19-yard line. They need to reach the 14 for a first down. Corey Simon chased him down from behind.
I love what Corey Simon said to us yesterday. He said, you know, I only weigh 293, but I'm still fresh at the end of the game where these big fat linemen aren't.
They got Bobby Taylor up top in the slot on Tony Gonzalez.
Green to the end zone. And it's incomplete.
Larry Parker trying to make a play on the ball against Troy Vincent.
When Parker got away with a push and still didn't catch the ball.
And he hurt his arm.
Yep. Vincent just, all he does is look back, then he looks at the receiver, and then gets shoved out of the way, and Parker still can't make the play. Ball goes right through his hands.
Parker came down on that elbow.
Troy Vincent really made an interesting observation. He said, you know, young wide receivers in this league today, all they want to do is run fast routes. He said nobody is patient enough to be real crisp. And it really makes you think about the guys like Jerry Rice and Tim Brown that are so good still, and how they work on the precision of the Isaac Bruce, the Marvin Harrisons. Why are they always the best at what they do?
And Troy Vincent showed you tonight while he has been to back-to-back Pro Bowls as a corner. Let's go down to Suzy.
Mike, one of the biggest questions coming into this game was how this team would respond coming off one of their worst performances of the season. Well, the defense certainly answered the call tonight. They were everywhere, aggressive, blitzing, making things happen. And Troy Vincent pointed out that especially with the young guys, they weren't sure what they would be able to do tonight, but everyone responded. Losing is never fun. He said everybody this week was a little bit more edge, but they had a little more focus, attention to detail. In fact, he used as an extreme example that they took the chips out of the meeting room. So now you know why the Eagles played so well tonight. Paul, they took the chips out of the meeting room.
They weren't like casino chips, Paul. They were potato chips, just so you know.
Thanks, Joe.
Just wanted to clean it up for you. Hey.
Joe, thanks a lot, man.
Whatever they did tonight worked. And Andy Reid will get his 7th win of the season as this club goes to 7-4. Priest Holmes stopped just shy of the 1,000-yard mark.
Hey, good job.
And Donovan McNabb, who said he hadn't had a whole lot of fun in the last couple of weeks, had to have a good time tonight. The final. The Eagles win it 23-10 for our entire ESPN crew. This is Mike Patrick saying goodnight from Arrowhead in Kansas City. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good night, everyone.
ESPN, thank you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.